Welcome to my review of The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is a dark and gritty crime drama and is the second part in the Dark Knight trilogy. Released in 2008, this movie has been talked to death, but I'd like to review it in a different light, as I believe that Heath Ledger is not just merely playing the Joker, but also taking on the personification of Satan. You should expect extensive spoilers throughout. I welcome all who may have stumbled upon this review, and I hope you enjoy. Give it a like, because it is how YouTube notices my videos and promotes my other videos further. Enjoy. We begin the film with a group of robbers entering a bank, and just as we see, it turns out to be a mob bank. They systematically enter the bank, tie up the hostages, and force them to hold live grenades, and systematically eliminate one another until there's just one masked goon remaining. This last masked goon unmasks himself as the Joker, who is played by Heath Ledger. The Joker takes out the bank manager by placing a gas grenade in his mouth as the bus pulls away and pulls the pin. This whole scene is absolutely diabolical, as all the goons are eliminated at the end of their given tasks, showing how dangerous it turns out to be for working with the Joker or committing any crime, even though they have no idea it is the Joker. The gas grenade is emblematic of the Joker of the comics, who uses his own gas grenades on anyone who double-crosses him and comes off as a horrible way to die. He leaves the bank by saying,
"I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you,"
showing how seemingly deranged she is. The bus leaves the bank and blends in with the rest of the passing school buses as the cops fly past towards the bank. Batman takes out the Scarecrow and some mobsters in a drug bus, and encounters copycat Batmans with guns and warns them not to interfere. In the following scene, we see Harvey Dent, played by Aaron Eckhart, and Rachel Dawes, played by Maggie Gyllenhaal, deciding who should go first in a case against Salvatore Maroni, the seemingly new head of the Falcone crime family. Of course, Harvey uses his trademark double-sided coin, and of course wins. No one really tries to get across the fact of how the nature of duality is entwined with Harvey's character, and Eckhart does an amazing job of showing how he really could be made into a shining example of justice for Gotham City, and later how easily it can be torn asunder. A mob underling pulls out a crappily made Chinese gun and tries to take out Dent, but is thwarted by a punch to the face, clearly showing he's getting to the mob and how lasting change can be made in Gotham. Dent and Commissioner Gordon, who is again played by Gary Oldman, discuss a plan to take out 5 mob banks and cripple their money supply. Dent doesn't like that there are corrupt cops working with Gordon, but he reminds Dent that he can only work with what he has. He has no ability to be idealistic with his choices. Like most cops in real life, some are good, or most are good, and some are bad, and the bad often get the good a bad name. We are later introduced to a sleazy Chinese businessman who wants to get into business with Wayne Enterprises. Bruce tells Fox to cancel the deal because he got a look at the books and was confirmed of his feelings with Lau's illicit dealings. Following this, we have a dinner between Bruce and a Russian ballerina and Harvey with Rachel. They discuss how Batman is seen as above the law and should be castigated and not venerated. Harvey says the people of Gotham have allowed the existence of the Batman because they let the scum of Gotham take control of the city, which is certainly true, as it is for most urban cities. After discussing the nature of democracy, which in itself is pure evil, Harvey has his famous line,
or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
I think this line is so foreboding for the rest of the film, and we may even see it come to pass. We are next treated to a wonderful scene where the mob is having a group therapy session in the basement of some restaurant, where Lau informs them that he has fled to Hong Kong and taken all their money to a secure location that only he knows about, fearing that it would be the best to keep everybody's money safe. Joker enters laughing with an explosive vest around his waist in a way that needs no introduction. Ooh, ooh, hee, ah. Now, I thought my jokes were bad. And he tells the other mobsters,
How about a magic trick?
the scene is so devilish and goes beyond your everyday cartoon villainy. He taunts the mob about using their money to buy him a new suit and says that Batman will find wow and make him squeal. Dent needs to be eliminated, or the criminal enterprise will be further crippled. The Joker in the scene with the pencil is wonderful. I laugh at it all the time, even though it's really not that funny. It's just one of those things that shows that it's not just merely being a villain, but really personifying Satan, as the pencil jerk is just who thinks of this stuff. We do have another scene later on where Joker kills a gang leader, Gamble, and has his 3 remaining henchmen fight to the death. Although we do not see the scene, it is heavily implied that these men do indeed fight to the death. I am of the opinion that even at the end of the death fight, Joker will end up killing the surviving gang member. I have no evidence to support that this is the case, but I think it is highly likely to be true. The scene is another example how devilishly evil the Joker is, watching 3 men fight to the death for the chance at being a member of her crew, and that to unceremoniously kill the survivor is the definition of sadism, and is perverse as all hell, and a great example of why that Heath Ledger is really playing Satan and not just the Joker. Joker is prescient when Batman goes to Hong Kong and brings back WoW to Gotham, and assuredly makes him squeal. We get to see a shaky cam of Joker torturing one of the imposter Batmen from the beginning of the film. It is kind of hard to watch because Joker shows how absolutely angry he will get when people don't pay attention to him, and how he can go back to seemingly calm, trying to calm down the man who's assuredly fearing for his life. He ends up killing him and hangs his body from a noose in front of the mayor's office. Joker threatens one person will die each day until Batman reveals himself and he makes clear,
I'm a man of my word.
The body of the fake Batman had a Joker card with 3 sets of DNA on it, each belonging to Judge Cirillo, Commissioner Loeb, and Harvey Dent. Joker is making his run at 3 people with high-powered positions, showing his lack of fear for those in power. In a scene that is evil at best, evil at worst, Judge Cirillo looks up and her car explodes. Loeb is killed by a spiked drink, but Bruce Wayne is able to get to Harvey and keep him out of harm's way, for now at least. Joker intrudes on Harvey's fundraiser and starts threatening guests, and gets a hold of Rachel and threatens her with a knife, and he tells her the terrifying story of his wife and how he makes him smile for her and scares her away. We get our first scene with Batman and the Joker as we see Joker drop Rachel from the building, and Batman has to save her from falling to her death.
Very poor choice of words.
Joker puts out an obituary that the mayor will die. Bruce drives around the city looking for the potential trigger man. There's an attempt on the mayor's life, and Gordon does his duty and takes a bullet for the mayor. Harvey beats around a deranged man with the name of Rachel Dawes on his lapel. Batman informs him that he's a paranoid schizophrenic from Arkham Asylum, and that there's no info to gain from him. Harvey begins to show a dangerous new angry side that is yet to show up, and Eckhart does a great job at showing how close Harvey is to going over the edge. Batman tells Harvey he is going to turn himself in, and that Harvey should hold a press conference. Harvey tells the press. Before this, Harvey tells Batman that he can't give up, and that he can't let the Joker win. Again, showing how angry he can be. Harvey tells the press that he is the Batman, and he is taken into custody. Rachel comes to Alfred and tells him how cowardly Bruce is for letting Harvey take the fall. And I think it is in this moment that Rachel truly makes up her mind to be with Harvey instead of Bruce. Rachel has a discussion with Alfred about him not standing up for Harvey, and Alfred tells her that he is being a symbol that nobody else has the choice to be. He's making that sacrifice of not doing anything. Joker and his goons try to take out the truck, transferring Harvey to Central Holding, and they almost succeed when they try to use an RPG on the truck, but the Batmobile takes the brunt of it. Batman ejects out with his awesome new Batbike. I have no other name for it, it's just what I call it. The Joker has his goons take out a helicopter with hanging wires, and it lands on a fireball in front of the truck. Another example of unconventional tactics that just come across as evil and deranged. Batman takes out the semi-truck that Joker is driving, but is unable to take out the Joker because he won't kill the Joker. He has an ethic not to kill, even though in the comics it's pretty obviously probably killed people in the past. Joker taunts the Batman by firing at him with an automatic rifle because he really wants him to show his true colors by killing the Joker. As I said before, he does not. Gordon reveals himself as one of the SWAT team in Harvey's transport as Joker is distracted by kicking the Batman, and he gets the better of the Joker and takes him into custody. We are introduced to a wonderful, insane character who I don't know the name of, but let's just call him Crazy Inmate Number 1. And he claims that he is really ill and that his boss, who's seemingly the Joker, will make it all better. We also have a great interrogation scene where Batman throws the Joker around the room and quips how he has nothing to scare him and all that he has is idle threats. It's perfectly emblematic of Satan, having no fear of God, constantly shaking his fist at God. He is chaos personified, and drastic measures must be taken if it is to be stamped out. Joker informs Batman that there's nothing he can do. He will continue to do what he has set out to do, and that is to show that Batman has made Gotham crazy, and that someday they will turn on him. Joker tells him how he let people die and allowed Harvey to take his place. And he says that even for me, that's cold. He says that the Batman will be turned on eventually once things get so bad and people will show who they really are. He is evil that cannot simply be stamped out. It must be crushed and eliminated. The Joker has no rules, and Batman has to break his one rule in order to finally stop him. Joker also tells the Batman he will have to choose between either Rachel or Harvey, and only one can live, although the Batman and the police try and save both. Batman chooses to save Harvey because of the symbol he is supposed to be for Gotham, but ironically he only saves half of him, as somehow his face is burned off as the flame is just able to catch enough of him as he's falling off the sidewalk. Joker gets the better of a guard watching him and sets off the bomb in the aforementioned man's stomach and is able to escape. Rachel tells Harvey she would have chosen him over Bruce just before she dies. The Joker succeeded because he had people everywhere and knew he would be able to escape his confinement. His plans are so crazy, but also very well organized, and has the authorities and Batman constantly guessing. Harvey is left a shattered and broken man after the death of Rachel, and Joker has succeeded in taking down the first light of hope that Gotham has had in decades. We have another demented and sadistic scene from Joker that opens with Lau tied up on top of a pyramid full of millions of dollars, and Joker slides down to meet the character known as the Chechen. Joker enlightens him that he is a man of simple tastes. With some explosives added in, and his men proceed to pour gasoline over the money pile. He proceeds to burn his half of the money, and along with it, as he adds a couple of great lines.
This town deserves a better class of criminal.
As well as,
Why don't we cut you up into little pieces and feed...
and then we'll see how loyal a hungry dog really is. Both dogs are emblematic of his desire to spread chaos that he can't be bought, as well as the need to send a message to all of Gotham. Joker also calls into a Gotham News show and says that a hospital will be blown up if a Wayne Enterprises employee named Mr. Reese, who claims to know the identity of the Batman, if he is not dead within 60 minutes. Wayne is able to protect Reese by taking the brunt of a truck aimed at Reese while in his Lamborghini. Following this, we are treated by one of the most consequential scenes in the film. Joker is disguised as the nurse and talks to Harvey. Joker says that he does not have a plan. He simply does things like the devil would do. He says that the mob, the police, and the Gordon are all schemers with their own plans, and that his goal is to show how they can't control their own worlds and therefore should not be trusted. Harvey was once a schemer, but is now free of that weight. He has another great line. Nobody panics when things go according to plan, even if the plan is horrifying. But when I say that one little old man will die, well, then everyone loses their minds. Another example of the simple, chaotic nature of the Joker is doing something so out of the ordinary that people can't help but panic. It goes beyond cartoon villainy into the lair of the devil himself.
Introduce a little anarchy.
Harvey flips a coin, and the Joker is allowed by fate to keep on living and spreading chaos. Wayne is able to protect Reese by taking the brunt of a truck aimed at taking him while he's in his Lamborghini. Harvey is unaccounted for. Joker seemingly kills a lead anchor of the Gotham Tonight News after he informs Gotham that those that don't want to be a part of the chaos should leave right away, but may be caught with another surprise if they try to escape. An alarm is sounded in the Wayne Enterprises R&D department as Fox is greeted to Mr. Wayne standing in front of a large screen of monitors. Harvey proceeds to kill every corrupt cop or any mobster that may have had anything to do with Rachel's death. He was released by the Joker, showing how truly far he has fallen. Wayne goes full Orwellian and turns every phone in Gotham into a sonar-based system meant to try and find the Joker. Fox is tasked with trying to find the Joker using said system, but Fox says he will resign as long as the machine is inside Wayne Enterprises because of its absolute destructive nature that could infringe on the rights and liberties of all Gothamites. Harvey's coin saves Maroney, but not his driver, as he is killed, and the car drives off the road, which always made me wonder, how was Harvey able to survive while we are led to believe that all died in the accident? I guess we can say Harvey totally was saved by his seatbelt, and he was able to survive while everybody else in the car died as a result of the car going off the road. We have one last scene showing the Joker's satanic nature, as there are two ferries loaded with equal amounts of explosives, one carrying criminals, and the other everyday or ordinary Gothamites. One person on each ferry has the detonator for the other ferry, and a social experiment of sorts takes place to see which side is willing to blow up the other. The supposed good people of Gotham with the scummy criminals of the Gotham underworld. Gordon's wife and kids are lured away from their home by the treacherous Ramirez to a location where Harvey will be waiting. She is seemingly saved by a coin flip and knocked out. Joker is holed up in a building surrounded by hostages and clown masks and must make out the SWAT teams coming to take the Joker down. The SWAT teams do not know the clowns are hostages, hence Batman's actions to quickly take down the SWAT team. A big, scary-looking prisoner goes to the guards on the prisoner's ferry and says that they don't know how to take a life, and that he would pull the trigger. While an ordinary person on the other ferry says that criminals had their chance, and that he would be willing to pull the trigger. Or turn the key in this instance. The big, scary prisoner takes the device and surprises everyone by throwing it out the window and sitting down, showing he is unwilling to be a part of the Joker's games. The other guy, seemingly nice guy on the ferry, is also unable to pull the trigger and puts it down. Batman throws Joker off the building as he is about to pull an alternate trigger that would set off both boats, but is ultimately defeated when Batman saves the Joker as he's falling to his death, proving that Batman would not break his one rule to destroy the Joker. We never see the Joker after the scene, so it is unconfirmed what actually happens to him, which is kind of strange. Probably just as a way of mentioning Heath Ledger. This proves the Joker right that the Batman would not be able to kill him, even though he caused so much destruction, as the devil often does.
Meets an immovable object.
Joker has another trick up his sleeve as he tells Batman that he has brought Gotham's White Knight down to its lowest levels.
Is like gravity.
This is another thing the devil does, push and deceive people into doing things they would not normally do unless they were truly desperate. We get to the final scene of the film, where Harvey has taken Gordon's wife and kids hostage and threatens to kill his son. Harvey has truly lost everything and has descended into madness. Harvey's dual personality, obsessed with fate, has revealed itself. Batman tells Harvey that the Joker wanted to show Gotham that even the best of Gotham could be brought down low. As Harvey is about to flip a coin for his son's fate, Batman tackles Harvey and he falls to his death. Batman takes the ultimate blame for Harvey's crimes and goes on the run as Gordon sends the rest of the police after him in order to bring about the lie that Harvey is still a shining example of Gotham, that he never fell to corruption that was so pervasive in Gotham City, as Gordon ends with this wonderful line.
Because he's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now.
And that was The Dark Knight, one of the best comic book movies ever made, a movie that sought to bring the Joker to life on screen, but actually succeeded in portraying the devil in the most accurate depiction since Paradise Lost. Heath Ledger gives one of the best performances I've ever seen as he delved into the depths of darkness and madness like no one before. So creepy and foreboding was his performance that it was not unexpected that he would die from a drug overdose, probably as a means to cope with the darkness that he delved into while preparing for the role. It's really sad what happened to Heath Ledger, but when someone is confronted by such darkness and depravity, it is not unlike something like that to happen. This is the best movie in the Dark Knight trilogy, and really is unlike any comic book movie made before or since. I enthusiastically give the movie a 10 out of 10, and thoroughly recommend it to anyone that has not seen it before, even though I'm pretty sure most of you who will watch this video have probably already seen it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Share it around with all your friends. Have a great day, and God bless.